Yeah, viewers all over the world. For some of you that are seeing me for the first time, Momu Ogbuefi Ezeana, ugochitubelu na Oraifite, ma ọ bụ ịkpọ m Akajiugo. I'm an ancient high priest. Abụ m onye isi nchụaja na ugochitubelu ọdịnala temple. Anyị na-agba afa miri emi, lụkwazi ọrụ mmụọ dị iche iche. Abụkwazi m onye isi nchụaja na ọdịnala Restoration Evangelical Mission. Bụrụ onye mgbasa ozi ọdịnala Igbo. So you can call me a priest or an evangelist. I will answer. My mission is to help people live better life. N'ụbọchị taa n'oge awa nke eziokwu, isiokwu anyị ji wee bịa bụ entities of powers and elemental beings. Tata anyị bịara ka anyị kụzie ihe ị kwesịrị ịma dịka onye digolo matured ma ọ bụ longing to be matured in the area of spirituality. Ihe ndị a ka anyị ji maka ya wee bịa. Gịnị ka m na-ekwu maka ya? In the spiritual realm and in the gross material world. In the gross material world, mgbe Chukwu Okike kechalụ the entire universe, after creating the entire universe, Chukwu Okike created caretakers, normally known as elemental beings. These beings are inhabitants of this gross material world. They have lived in this gross material world thousands of years before man was permitted to live in this gross material world and to rule over the entire creatures in this gross material world. However, these elemental beings are primary beings. You can call them the elves, the gnomes, the salamanders, the sards, and rest of them. How about the movers and shakers of these cardinal points? Name the 4 cardinal points. Ndị anyanwụ, the fire elements. The world is built in 4 cardinal points because every 4 leg is well balanced. So, and the batalo in Igbo spirituality, we count our market days based on this 4 cardinal points. Yes. Then there was some sub cardinals. No under the 4 cardinal points. Here they are behind never see anya, and here basado the entities of powers for you to understand the higher beings, how they work and how to operate, and what you will do in order to become their friends for betterment. But before we dive into today's lecture, echefuna na anyị nọ na month of November. Our group rituals for the month is still ongoing. You can join us anywhere you are all over the world. N'isi ụtụtụ ejegoro m na temple chụọ aja gọọ ọfọ kwubie okwu n'isi ndị sonyela all over the world. The friends of the temple, the children of the temple, the members of Eze-Ana Restoration Evangelical Mission, and consecrated group. Now, before we dive into today's lecture, ejegoro je chụọ aja kwubie okwu n'isi ha. Etu aka anyị ga-emegide till the last of the month anyị ga-eje na mmiri eyile ọma n'aha mmadụ dum. Bịa na temple chụọ aja to entities of powers, jee n'ebe nchụ aja gbuo ebulu mesara aka. Etu aka anyị si eme. So if you are interested in joining us in our monthly rituals, what you have to do is to make token donation to the account number. Chat me on WhatsApp. I will tell you other details we need from you in order to book you. My WhatsApp number is on your screen. 0805 78 37 672. I repeat, 0805 78 37 672. Now let's dive into today's lecture. It will not be long. Tag your friends and well-wishers so that they will hear this message from the horse's mouth. Now, let's proceed. In this gross material world, remember, I have told you in my previous lectures that spiritual control the physical. I have made the point times without number that before anything will happen in this gross material world, it must have happened in the spiritual realm. Now, for whatever that is imaginable, whatever that your heart can grasp, can manifest in the world of gross materials, if only you have the projective power and the attractive power to attract that your projections. Whatever you projected, your heart desires, what you are longing for, can materialize in the land of the living based on the radiation that you channel towards that projections to come into the limelight. I can tell you without missing words, you are the one that is holding yourself. That is how it should be. If you want your world to be positive, you want positive things to be happening in your life, you must always radiate positivity. So in the world of gross material, we have the negative and positive. The same way we have the negative element and positive element, as case may be, the one you long for yourself. But here I want to tell you the existence of elemental beings and entities of power. That is the center of our today's topic. Gross material world, we have the re-occupants that have been here from time immemorial, and they are called elemental beings because they have the fundamentals, have the first dwellers in this gross material world. Those first dwellers in this gross material world is called elemental beings. And these elemental beings are divided into 4 cardinal points. Their work is from these 4 cardinal dimensions. And I have told you the fire element. The fire element is the stars, those elements that work in conjunction with the moons, the stars, the suns, and the rest of them. They are all the energizers. Now, other elemental beings, ndị na-arụ ọrụ na mmiri, like the mermaids, the water sprites, etc. Na-enwere elemental beings ndị na-arụ ọrụ n'ikuku, the salamanders and rest of them bụ ndị ikuku. Na-enwere ndị ana. Ndị ana gụnyere the gnomes, the elves, ndị na-eme ka okwute na-egro, ndị na-eme ka ada na-eme nni, ka trees na-egro. These elves are the ones living in those sacred trees. They are the ones that are making the trees to grow. Enwere ndị ọrụ ha bụ the maintenance and nourish the entire universe. And these 4 cardinal points work hand in hand. In order for whatever you plant on the ground to germinate, you need the power of the sun to energize. Then you need the energy of the air to come into play. Then you need the activities of the water element to bring rainfall. Then, of course, you need the land element, who are the mothers, Mother Earth, to house whatever you are planting. So they work hand in hand. In these elemental beings, there were sub-elements. Yes, in Igbo spirituality, we recognize them. All the forces that flows. And we human beings have connections with these elements. Every human being will element gain they familiar with. Your radiation emanate and is very similar to those elements. Only not less than 2 elements. Meaning, let me put it in a layman form for you to understand. Yes. Na ị nwere direct link and a direct link to Aja-Ana and ikuku. Ihe ọ pụtara bụ na ọ bụrụ na o nwere ka o si reji wee dịrị gị na ijekwu ndị Aja-Ana kpọkuo ha yọọ fa ayịyọ because na gị na ha nwere link, ha ga-anụ olu gị ma nyere gị aka n'ihe ị na-ayọ. Ọ bụrụkwana na ịbụ nwa ikuku, ete ịbụkwa nwa ikuku. Ọ bụrụkwa na ịkpọkuo the salamanders, kwubie okwu site n'ike okwu ọnụ, ndị ikuku ga-enyere gị aka fụ na ayịya anwụ ịyọlụ na ọ gazuru ebe o kwesịrị ịga. Etu a ka enwekwara other subconscious elements. Ị nwekwara ike ịbụ nwa Aja-Ana bụrụ nwee link with ikuku, nwee link with ndị mmiri. If you mature heavily, you can still have link with those 4 cardinal elements. Very possible. But it will be teaching for another day. But what I can tell you is that it's very possible for you to have link with these 4 cardinal elements. They are the pillars. And we call sub elements. They are the I better describe them as their spiritual forces or spiritual associates. Yes. Now once you understand how things work, you will come across other chains of powers. These chains of powers, if I begin to explain the whole lot of elemental beings and operations, okay, very long. So what I want to tell you today is understand the elemental beings are here. Their work is very fundamental to lay foundational basis for your ascent. Now, what you need to do is recognize them, because if you recognize them, if you recognize those elemental beings, ha ga-enyere gị aka to achieve great things. Ha ga-enyere gị aka to achieve greatness. You need them. Do you see in this gross material world, even in every society, we need the artisans. We need the commoners. Those people that are doing those minor jobs. In this gross material world, ask yourself, how would this world be if we don't have bricklayers? If we don't have the vulcanizers? If we don't have those artisans, those people building houses, those people doing all those maintenance, plumbing work, tilers, name them. That is the same thing, the work of these elemental beings in its gross material world. All have alugasi if na ndị anyanwụ na ike anyanwụ na-energize this gross material world. Mmadụ na-benefit in all ramification. Then kedu ka ọ ga-esi wee dị ma ọ bụrụ na ndị mmiri anọrọ? All those elements in charge of bringing rainfall at every seasonal time. Kedu ka ụwa ga-adị ma ọ bụrụ na enwere ndị ikuku ịfụ na ikuku na-agazu dị energy nọ n'ikuku na-ebusi ya? Ị nwere ike ịmara na ha nọ ọrụ maka na ị nwere ike nwere anya ịghọta iche na ihe na-anọkọta mere onwe. Etu a ka ọ dị, ọ na ịmara na Mountain Kilimanjaro na-eguro eguro. Have you ever have opportunity to visit the rock? I was opportune to visit the Zuma Rock in Abuja. Do you know that these rocks and the caves has great architectural designs on them, show you that name were elemental beings and then all those that carved those things on those rocks. Yes. So it's for they carved those things to show you of their existence. So what I'm telling you is that in this gross material, for you to succeed, you need their help. That has to do with ani, you need the support of the elemental beings in this scenario. That has to do with mmiri, you need support from the water elements, the salamander, the water sprite and marmots. You need them. That has to do with air, you need them to be at peace. The same way we need all the sun element. In fact, in all we do on earth, we need these 4 cardinal points to be at peace with them for our own benefit. So if you are in this gross material and you want to achieve greatness in this world, you have to be at peace with these earthly elements. They are here for good. They are here for good. The same way you will see some of these earthworms, those animals, and you have animal feces and everything. You will see animals, they eat grass, then they poo. That grass there, that their poo will turn into manure, and what you planted will germinate, and you eat and defecate, and so on and so forth. To show you that everything moves in cycle. So don't think that you will succeed massively in these gross materials without the assistance of those elemental beings. If you are operating without the assistance of those elemental beings, you will soon be frustrated. It's like you visited a hospital without the assistance of the nurses. Yes, you will be frustrated because you need the assistance of the receptionist for you to have a hospital card. You need the assistance of the nurse to take their primary things like their BP or whatever, some samples. Then you proceed to the level of seeing your doctor. The nurse are the ones that will take your file inside the doctor's room. So that doctor will call you at the appropriate time. The same thing is what is happening in the spiritual realm. The entities of powers are up there. But there is no way you will be able to come in contact with entities of powers without these elemental beings linking you up. In one of you just jump. You cannot do so. So what I'm telling you is that's why I started my lecture with telling you the importance of elemental beings. You need them. Example, even in the police force, you need those rank and files. You need those privates, those last corporals. You need them because those people are those people that will go for any arrest. If you make a complaint in the police station, for that culprit to be arrested, is those rank and file, those rankless policemen, those private, they are the ones that will follow you to go and arrest the criminal. So you can see that at various levels, every spiritual element is very important. Believe in me, for you to succeed in whatever you are doing on earth, as long as this gross material is concerned, you need the helps of the elemental beings because they are in charge. They are the dwellers. They have been living here in this gross material world before the arrival of human spirit, the higher beings. However, when the higher beings, human beings, enter this gross material world. Chukwu Okike in his infinite mercy made man to rule over the earth. However, these elemental beings, for the fact that we come in contact with them, we need their assistance because they have been living on earth. They understand the do's and don'ts. They know all the corners. They know the dwelling points of earthly wealth. So for you to succeed in your calling, in your handwork, in your whatever you are doing, you need these elemental beings to give you all the akọ uche you need. You need their support because they understand the earthly principles. They understand how earth works. They see beyond you before you even see. Those elemental beings are the animistics. That, have you asked yourself, why is it that those animistics see some certain things before men we see them first? Do you ask yourself, why is it that dogs and the other animals perceive and see some certain things that is happening in this gross material world? Because anything that is happening in this gross material world is happening within the animistic realm. Anything in this gross material is this animistic world. Therefore, they see it before you. Did you ask yourself why, when Saul was going to Damascus to attack some people, to commit murder, did you ask yourself why is it that a force stood before him? He couldn't see it, but the horse that he was traveling with saw it first. Animals, because they are closer to nature, these are the mystic beings, so they have this instinct that normally give them warning. That's why most of the times you see where there is an earthquake, you notice that animals do get pre-warning before humans, unless privileged few that are permitted to sense that danger ahead. So for you not to be running into danger at all times, make sure you are at peace with the elemental beings, because they are the ones that will see it first before you and pre-warn you. If you are not paying attention to elemental beings, believe in me, my brother, my sister, you will always run into danger. And you recognize them by being spiritually awake, intuitively. You're supposed to be spiritually alert so that you'll be perceiving those vibrations. And well, higher entities. But higher entities, for you to connect to those higher entities that are so powerful, it's not easy for you to attend to that level. For you to attend to that level of communicating directly to higher vibrations requires a lot of maturity, and it will take you a lot of time for you to mature to that level. And believe in me, you can mature to that level without support and the assistance of these elemental beings. When you keep jump, you can't just jump. Ndị Igbo na-asị na-akpa n'ana akpa n'ọfọ, meaning you must start from the beginning. You must start from the beginning. So these elemental beings are the pioneers, the fundamentals. You must recognize them, be at peace with them, so that they will be able to link you up, to show you the realms and the kingdoms of wealth. They are the ones that will always communicate to you because you are living in this gross material world and with the chance of connection. Do you think that for you to receive internet or to receive service on your phone, do you think it just happened? No. And with the chance of connectivity. That is why if any chain of connectivity in your area is malfunctioning, you will be cut off of some sort. You will be cut off. Example, there is this we call telecommunication mask. As you are receiving service, listening to this my message, there is this telecommunication mask closer to you that is coordinating and connecting your data network to the power source. Yes, to the connectivity to connect you. If for any reason that particular mask that is connecting you and giving you that connectivity radiation for you to be able to connect to the internet provided by that particular network you are using, I can tell you, you will not be connected. Don't you notice sometimes if there's any maybe flood disaster or one thing happen beyond the natural phenomena, and those networking company, some of their mask was tampered or whatever, those masks will not be able to provide services to the end users, and sometimes they will announce it that they are running some kind of maintenance. Please bear with them. So what I'm telling you is that when connecting force, you cannot be or mature or connect yourself to higher entities or powers without interconnection with the elemental beings. You follow who know road. So those your elemental forces, starting from your chigi, starting from your agu, your spiritual forces, esume esugi, ndị aka, ndị egede, ndị anịka ntana, ndị gboo, ndị chiri nze, ndị chiri ọzọ, ndị nchụaja. That niile various associates and the dynamics of powers and sections. They interconnect themselves. So you need them for them to form the foundational base of your connectivity to the realms of the entities of powers. And with the realms of the entities of powers, and I will try to break it in a way that you understand it. Yes, I will not be able to go into in full details because if I do, it will be a lecture of another day for higher matured human spirits. But let me break it in a little bit way you can understand if you are spiritually conscious. Now, when the throne, the highest throne of the divine, called divine throne, this divine throne is beyond human reach. This divine throne, human being cannot withstand the vibrations of the Almighty, the Supreme Head. Some people cannot comprehend it. Some people will argue, yes, Chukwu Okike na-egosi ike from ihe niile o kere eke, but not na Chukwu Okike bụ ahịhịa. Ike Chukwu dị n'ihe niile o kere eke. All these elemental beings are substations that dilute and step down his powers, because his direct power will be damaging to humans, because human cannot comprehend it and not be able to withstand the raw power of Chukwu. That's why it's step by step, and the powers will be stepping down till he got to the point that will be favorable and mild to human ability. Let me give you an example. Do you know that the power you are using in your home right now is highly standardized? Is highly reduced to a barest minimum to level of 220 volts in order not to jeopardize or harm your electronics or harm even humans. Enwere the raw power that is generated from the Kaijidan. These powers or kVAs moved direct to kilowatt. These powers move directly to power source. Those gigantic source you are seeing, yes. From that place, it will go down to NEPA substations, then step down to higher transformers. From that place, it will be stepped down again to go to high tension. This one that is 3, that is going in front of your house, is still high tension. And among that high tension, they still have high tension 33 and high tension 11. 33 is very powerful and it takes more light. So that high tension will still have to go down to transformer to step the power again down, so that it will be at level of 220, that will be enough for human building. Now they will still step it down to these 4 tensions that normally pass through your house, your street. It's called low tension. Anybody can tap 220 volts from it. The same way is what is happening in the spiritual realm. And with the entities of powers, the throne of divinity of the supreme head, then who is the source. Then Chukwu Okike radiate ike site n'ihe ike ihe ekere eke, site n'ike anyanwụ, site n'ike ọnwa, site n'ike kpakpando. Radiate his power site n'ikuku, radiate his power site na mmiri, radiate his power site n'ana, or dedicated his powers to those elemental beings to bring it down to the level of humans. However, coming from that far throne of the divinity, he come down to a throne of primordial queen, Eze-Ana nke eluigwe. Yes, her proximity is still within the proximity, close to the proximity of divinity. So to a layman language, he call it heaven. Then coming down to the throne of the elders, the principalities and powers, coming down to the throne of the elders, then coming down to the throne of the animations. These are thrones and powers. Spiritual powers are cadre by cadre. Coming down to the throne of the spirituality, the throne of the spirits, where the human spirit emanated from. Now coming down, it comes to the throne of the animastics, the throne of the mystic, where the soul, animal souls originated from. Then keep coming down to the throne of the ethereal realms. Come to the throne of the realms, and various realms. I don't want to dissect into that level because the video will be done long, but it's a lecture of its own. The throne of the realms, then from the throne to realms. Once from that realms to ethereal world, we are now coming to the world, to ethereal world. Ethereal world exists between the gateway of the gross material. Yes, it's like the gate pass, the awaiting lunch, where you wait for your time to be called upon to reincarnate in this world, to this world of gross material. So the same way the world powers operate, and the realms of the powers of the realms, the kingdoms, the entities, the primordials and divinity. So it's divided into many worlds and kingdoms and the powers. It will be a lecture for another day for higher matured human spirit, for you to understand. You have to understand these things if you really want to grow spiritual ascent. In spirituality, once you are growing, maturing, you become lighter and will be able to ascend to the higher vibrations and the higher realms and kingdoms. Then you keep growing to the throne of the normally called the paradise, the heavens. So let me stop here so that you'll be able to simulate what I just taught you today. Message you number 0805 7837672. I repeat 0805 7837672. Let us pray. Ekwem ekwerem na Chineke. Ekwerem na ọ dị ihe si n'ime ike ka Chineke na-apụghị izi m ụzọ ga-esi lụgbuo ya n'ihi na ọ mazuru ihe niile. Obi m siri ike